All right. So here's the thing. This -2 in the front, I'm not the biggest fan of. So how can I get rid of the -2? Well, if I add 2 here, what's 2 plus 2? 0, but I can't. So that's a good guess. You probably saw the negative sign and you thought, well, we'll just add 2. But what is the 2 doing with respect to, oops, that's the wrong color. What is the 2 doing with respect to x? In other words, what is this 2 supposed to be doing to the stuff in the parentheses? Multiplying it. Can we do the inverse of multiply? What's the inverse of multiply? Divide. So I'm going to divide this whole thing. Dang it, I did it again. I'm going to divide this whole thing. What am I trying to move? If I'm trying to move the -2. So if I'm trying to move the -2 and it's being multiplied by -2 here, to move it, I need to divide by -2, right? So far, so good. So am I forgetting anything? Yeah, but whatever I do on one side, don't I have to do on the other side? Yeah. So this -2, those cancel, right? Because -2 divided by -2 is 1. And then over here I have this thing. However, whenever I multiply or divide by a negative number, so I want you to write this down. When you write this down on your worksheet, I'm saying words and I'm writing them down on my paper. When you multiply, that's the multiplication symbol. Well, it's not a very good one. Let me type this so it looks a little better. Text. When you multiply or divide by a negative number, flip the inequality symbol. So this is a rule, and I'll make this smaller so you can see it. Whoops. Let's make the text a little smaller. Maybe we'll make it 9. So when you multiply or divide by a negative number, you have to flip the inequality symbol. Now what that means is in my next line, what I need to do, these cancel and I'm left with 1 over 4, right, times x plus 2 is greater than, or oops, I just made the mistake that I was trying to avoid. Remember, I flipped the inequality symbol. That looks different. It's going in the other direction, all over 5, or less than or equal to 5 over -2. Okay, that's a little better, but what is it that I don't like now? Now I've got fractions still. So I'm going to multiply by this 4, remembering that when I multiply by 4, I have to multiply everything by 4. So when I multiply this 4 by this, what's 4 times 1? 4. What's 4 divided by 4? 1x. Now, technically, we never write down the 1, so I could just leave it as x, right? Now I've got to multiply 4 by +2. What's that? +8, right? Then I'm going to multiply 4 times 5. What's 4 times 5? What's 20 divided by negative 2? Yeah, it's 10. You're half right. But remember, you're taking 20 and dividing it by a negative 2. So technically, what is it? No, it's negative 10, right? So here's the thing. Mr. Adams is doing some math in my head. If you don't feel comfortable doing math in your head and you're afraid you're going to make a mistake, do this. Say 4 times 5 equals 20. Then divide it by negative 2. Okay, because if you don't have the right answer, if I don't put a negative 10 here, it makes the rest of the problem wrong. So just use the calculators if you're not 100% sure. All right, with that being said, though, I want to get x by itself, so now what do I do? Minus 8 from both sides. These will cancel, and I'll get x is less than or equal to. Now, again, if you don't know what negative 10 minus 8 is, plug it in the calculator. Negative 10 minus 8. And I know there are rules that you were taught in middle school. When you add two numbers that are the same sign, do this. When you subtract numbers that are different, what happens is you guys get confused or you don't remember the rules. Don't just guess. I see a lot of students that will put negative 2 or plus 2 or, if that's not the correct calculation, the whole problem's wrong. And you do a lot of calculations on these, just use the calculator for every step, okay? Then you'll get the right answer. So that's negative 18, right? Any questions on that one?